Yeah, from my extreme far left, Ivan Innocent Chi, our youth activist, or no, at Nasadada. Ivan Akwaba. Bibi Aboko there. And they always say far with the answer there. Political meeting. And of course, we have been here, Lucius, so ever had was Lucius. Bibi Aboko.
Bibi Aboko, Minia.
And of course, from the office of the president, the minister in charge of communication at the office of the president, ne achita for ne mrantia omwadwumuda ho moye adwuma ne bi wo ho no mo Dr. Samuel Dr. Akwaba Bibi Aboko there
obade de nkwache
nobody ase so but me started through ho no mo so far Abamu Niema Eko saying, most especially Enra, we saw the lance minister. I mean, Ibn said the end I don't know, Ibn Musa knows soon, Ibn Musa there. So you want to know the state of our forest reserves and the illegal mining activity and anything related to Galamsey. That's what you see.
That's it. Let me say, a better Ghana phone in Asi or Empire Bonnet. Or Pepa or Menyani or Draw Madiama Bino. Menu na be adwin say before the 2024 election, na Ghana phone na support ehine omo. Na o hwe Ghana yinso a nyamede a cheye, oba ade de a cheye, a change from blue to brown. Enya de na obi ani age ho. Ntina e wo say aban no etu ho anamo. Unfortunately, the previous government, because they themselves were neck deep into it.
I see.
Professor Frimpong Boateng the can answer. Or say a year a buying atana year under the MPP was the headquarters of Galamsey. And Galamsey so by year a free for all enterprise for any and every member of the MPP. And ne Sasa Abain Papaba. Yeah, Papa, His Excellency the President, were waging a relentless war against Galamsey. Na JB, a penny say Saponcheni Wua, and a wounded something.
Sure.
Sankendi Siabaya Makunyamwa, Anka Akonta Mining a Yachama wound to media. Anka, there is no way they will face accountability. There is no way they will be caught and arrested. The choir and only a few days ago,
Akonta Mining, are they involved in illegal mining?
Of course. In fact, in 2022, the media coalition against Galamsey, as led by Dr. Kenashibe, the CID ho, at the Office of Special Prosecutor ho,
and lawyer Martin Pebu.
Say Akonta Mining is engaging in Galamsey.
I see.
Sa allegation by no investigation in PAAA and then President Kufuor on 4th January 2023 be clear Akonta Mining. And ne Ghana why name say Akonta Mining omo ye Galamsey. In fact, ye che on Tano Nimri Forest no. They don't have a mining lease yes omo koye mining wo ho. And you know omo gina so ye dey. Excavators over 31 na ye che no. Na e was asase no so ye de dey. Enti under MPP et said the Professor from Paul Boateng kan no. And it said the Titus Glover, former Greater Accra Regional Minister, Kennedy Japan and seasoned MPP mpenyufo about Tibeka say na eye MPP aban no mu mpenyufo. And a Galamsey no mo ye.
So doctor, what are you guys waiting?
So what we are doing is yasha say me no ka say dozens of people have been arrested. Ye che omo no ye de omo gira ma kwan so. Galamsey so the excavator na ye say excavator na ya che omo it is in the custody of Ghana Police Service. It will not happen to say they see ya and the MPP. Excavators etu yera no. And we must tackle the issue head on. And I'm a body defense minister, Dr. Manebo Amabaso, the lance minister, the interior minister, Oma Kabum, and Santo Koya Yeko against Galamsey. MPP for share that they say, Mebuno Amu Boasene, Takwa. Sanya Mabunu na one penny for na Maburu Bian or bit me to excavator 31. obi o sky the to excavator 31 on be Galamsey say asema make out here.
Yeah, sure.
Eye aban mu mpanyifo akese a na omo ye MPP for na eye sa Galamsey no.
But I'm not sure we've ever heard say Abayachi Galamsey as for be legal miners for be a prosecution man or the work could not send DBM. Ya started come as if you have any of them.
Yes, of course, there is no doubt. Maybe both various forest reserves are.
No, for the forest reserves in the him said now I said that. And
oh yes,
of where the demo dada.
But
so who are the notable names we are looking at?
Some of them are not politicians and
no problem. We are interested.
But on 23rd February 2025. Okay, evaluate Ajomorojira. Ye chinipa 15 many okasei omuwomu a ye arrange obo for court.
Are they still in police custody?
Oh yes. Oko on 5th March 2025. Upper West Regional Security Council omo arrested nipa 73 in the Tilly Forest. Omujina emrenim. 11th March ye che nipa 12 ewo Tano Nimri Forest. 13th March ye about 8 people in the Subri Forest. Met me on and on and on 14th March. Ye nipa bebresa in the Bosome for district. No more ye illegal mining. Yachi or match your Galamsey omu excavators in the chamfine on the edge. That is how Galamsey is being fought. Of course, there are a lot of Ghanaians Amujidi say a slow pay, but the point is that Sir Galamsey Akosu in the last I'm talking about deeply seated mechanized Galamsey omo use excavators akese over 30 more 50 no akoso over 8 years and now from say within this short time if you want to be honest to the people baby a Ghana policy we must be honest adena koso over 8 years in fact a juma excavator ba ko betimi aye in one day you will be shocked I mean no can say TV3 premises excavator betimi the 30 minutes ejure na egu. And imagine say obi wo excavator 51 no general so the damage those excavators will cause no you will be shocked. But President Mahama also one wa ban all politically exposed persons from engaging in mining when you Galamsey mining untimi nya mining so we are buying money pa na
all politically exposed persons.
Number 2 also mining in forest reserves were cheap, mining in river bodies were cheap. These are far-reaching measures are abandoning ye. Ya launch river gata. Omo ye babuno omo do nature omo do insuo. Omo ye whistleblowers they are liaising with naval units of Ghana Armed Forces. Said they are omo suspicious activities via as far as Galamsey is concerned. They report it. There are many measures are abandoning taking. As I sit here, Ghana for me shamobo. Be rest assured, say for the first time in the history of Ghana, aban biaba ye kun Galamsey. Now we yesre. Akonta Mining. Apart from omwankasa excavators in the machine say wasa so ye Galamsey no. Almost twa forest reserve say nyomo de esa aton. Enti forest reserve bi won che no makoton ama obi 300,000 Ghana cedi 3 billion. No almost age ehun kickback ko ti ase. Your favorite charters. There's almost ton assassin. In Crawford, Galamsey also no. Now every week be our Massanjo Musicat $3 billion, $20,000. It's
my establishment.
Because almost say almost 250 grams of gold from Nipana the assassin man. 250 grams of gold. $20,000 or $21,000. And to on the money partner every week will make it $200,000.
Dr. Buame, so far, no, are they facing prosecution or they have just been arrested?
This week you will see say
this week.
Of course. And the government is doing something. All we need from the people of Ghana, they are here from Ghana for more support, more encouragement. And Minister na support no. Now also because even though now we knew say Galamsey as a crew, but the extent of damage ya cause Ghana no minister no na ne raho. But this is a minister what born a humodinya only other sector ministers akaboma or more crack it down on illegal mining.
I see.
What did they make and say? Because over the last 8 years, the level of destruction caused so mining leases and the microphobia. Evidence available, said because they had leanings to MPP in Romania, we know. Omo they are dream bonnet a yedman. Omo could general soon no two. In fact, last week, I'm in Western region and Cobra River, it be more blocking. That is how wicked people can actually be. And Cobra River, they are blocking on that. In so neighbor slowly, no more they wash it. Omo good no. What you are saying? The point I want to make to the people of Ghana, say Galamsey kono yebekun. The government is committed. Now denti ayentimi kono say because of politically exposed persons are omumu do asike krobo. So they are the one government.
Are they bigger than Ghana?
They can never be bigger than Ghana. And I can tell you on all authority, say if investigations conducted, prosecution court, if Akonta Mining belong to chairman, won't to me or MPP chairman in the Ashanti region, if Ishusemu Bede they say indeed he is guilty, and I say so we flouting licenses and no illegal mining. I can tell you on authority say the leadership of Akonta Mining, they will go to jail, and I will not be surprised if Chema want to be himself goes to jail. And I believe say Ghana for do one any better because you cannot have a situation now. You two Obama say believe or mine. You the Ghana Jeopardy so because of who or political leniency or the Ghana Jeopardy no. Oh, say Ghana, say Ghana. But we cannot encourage something like that.
Let's talk about Honum. Licious. My member of Honum, I don't know if Nessa more kind, you also have something to say on that.
Okay. My member of Honum na menchia or her phone.
But it's all Cambono there. Back Cambono be in Ayenti.
Member of Honum na menchia or her phone na menchia NDC food na menchia Minister, me banami ti se o ka se suna o sun you know. Na bet emuya.
Ade se moya.
Emuya se un se adwuma na be di ahye ne nsa no. Se otena ase na se ukọ e bia ana se ohwe nsase a ese na ohwe nsu a ese ya. Ese utimisu. Enyo no nko akra na esoso. Un se there was a time na utum for echo Cape Coast. I think say no oko afashe do Cape Coast na udu river prahu. Na oye ai amamre wo ho no. Na ohwe bra camera no koto insu no so no. Na chese asefim. Insu na da na chise pituin. Watch us here. Say ohwe there was a time otumfo ne ebimu hyiaye na oka Galamsey asem ya na oka se na hemfo Onua na hemfo a one be ahyia no onim se ebimu ye den ebimu eyibi hwe Galamsey ya ye kan no se ohwe nipa be ye involve ebi wo ha onye politician nanso esanse menkan se nkomo a ye di nyina no President Mama ayede Ghana ashen say politician.
Yeah.
Yes, so you go say a politicians. And to say Koban say enipa benim de. Senka they should know better. Start to say be ye niema ense na emfata. Say den yetimi eka ho asem. Now Akonta Mining asem ya abetodwai. Me mahu press release bi abedi aba. Beche say be nyadi abeye Galamsey ewo forest reserve for na amanfo
eka.
Me mahu press release bi abedi aba.
From where?
I just am
from Akonta Mining.
Okay. Yes, Akonta Mining Limited. What you say?
Yeah.
Na mum say odo asem imu asukwa. Ade ba ko ese nya etimti ase ese. Se wo no wo release se oye ebia Galamsey anase se oye mining na mining na wo ye no ti se na menua yi kan wo so sign grant amount for access se nipa no koyade no e wo baabi ne nu kwan se oya once a wo mom no o grant nipa no access no wo mom ne say den ye chew watch as here enti ebetimi aye no kre say e bia Akonta Mining nankasa enko Nimri Forest hono enko ye e bia Galamsey anase onkotu gold ewo hono na nsense ono wa grant man for access na beno bawura hono de ese etimi ye den yetimi chew enra ya chi abekochi no beko enipa 51 emu China for nko 8 excavators about 30 about 30 any tuo ahodo a eka ho a ni nyina no beye den beje na se wotena Ghana ha isi na se woye saa aniamo ho nsem wi wabreko a wo no woye Ashanti regional chairman woye politician yaka adi Galamsey yaka ho asema ka na wunse sometimes no enye nwanwa kire se obeka ya Dr. Frimpong reporter or the buyer ne nsema okafa Galamsey no kire se ope babia Galamsey no koso pa babia se start free na ye anka ne abandadan mu horum ayi offense president Akufo-Addo ne nakache pe ne na amanfo eden to Galamsey o kai party hiaska Sasem no party hiaska enti na be shamanfo kutupa ema beden be ye Galamsey sane be ya at least be betimi anya sika na be dey support and as sponsor
institutions emrano WOHO ye den
se ayi emrano afi ne aban foforo aiden aba na President Mama committed within 4 months you know yahu action Land Minister and Forestry Commission aiden ateki what you say na me gidi say sa week here yati asimu you know ba say di begina emrano no aba no di bebe den ebegina emrano nipa abekochi be ewo forest horum no directors no bia enye den enka ho te se na me nua yi kan no ba na be wo site abe ya adwuma no be ni sika abede to ayi excavator enti se obi director na so ono no tena ne office na otimi maamanfo akwanya ema beko baabi enu kwanse beko forest ni nsuo ho ekoye Galamsey sa nipa no so ese etim di medina mra no enti enye ba yache be no keke but me gidi say directors na be ye involved no adama amanfo sa access to ayi forest home no ese be nyina be ko gina mra no wontimu emobi enkotu Galamsey na wo wontena office na ochina bi no yakwachi nipa na ono no okotu Galamsey ko pay 2 cedis bi o se 3 cedis koto ayigare ni binsi no ya nya ne sa na se yetimi che directors na mimi gidi say ebeye akwansidie ade ama foforo se obi nso oto hono ma o ye similar thing no ebe sua de afim enti no week ya yasimi no ye nyina ya expect say bibisa ebetimi akoso what you say
Mate Ivan
Maybe
I say this week we be able to asesa na well prosecute due process no na so best start this week. I don't know if
I think it's very very important. They come mention what for na menka say JB.
Yes sir.
Ade ba ko a emu du pa wasase we so political power. Emu du ankasa very overriding and very overreaching. But the interesting aspect of it is sa political power near nema me no. It will either make you or make you. And you back abra Kwame Nkrumah every UK eba Ghana abra oye ne law we ya na oba Ghana no. He was nobody. But oba ya obenya political power enam the other year no. He became somebody.
Yeah.
So the political power made Kwame Nkrumah. Before Akufo-Addo be president, we were made to believe say he was somebody. But onya power no or the defame no hold to the sense that he has become nobody. So far as this whole political destiny is concerned. So a chance we need political power. Now kwanya before so be you know and the determine the kind of legacy and the kind of name you make for yourself.
Yeah.
Prior to the election, adeba kwana Ghana fo nyina ye ka ho asem ye Galamsey. For the first time in the history of this country, na year quiet election and not economy and leading the conversation, but it was Galamsey. Tell how destructive it was at the time.
Yeah.
And the criminal negligence on the part of the government of the day said obey be found to the extent that there were reports. Man for evidence, a good president and him, all that he needed to do was to act on it. But at the top of all this evidence, you know, yet now say not law. Make the press, give the president power to use his own personal discretion to award forest reserve to individuals or more air mining in this forest way. There were a lot of criminal activities are never perpetrated. So elections, no course of President Mahama Baye, the focus was on Galamsey because that was the leading conversation.
Yes.
But you see, transition it goes slow. People wanted to see some drastic measures be buying a take, but the government was in transition. I feel the government no form, so that form no, and others will be. But I can tell you, sir, this past week we will be at war reservations so far as the fight against Galamsey is concerned. I think the government has demonstrated enough commitment within this week, saying they are really ready in the fight against corrupt this Galamsey thing. And I wish, sir, that particular way, because you see, it's one thing that is going to make or make the president, so far as his legacy is concerned, because your friend is a Ghana for our much interest. There's one subject that people in academia and stuff involved because our destinies are on the line. So I'm expecting that these measures are buying a take here or go after this Galamsey, will not just end there. Debbie, with this Akonta mines, there has been a lot of investigation reporting as far as demonstrating clearly the involvement of this company in mining, especially our forest reserve. And then there is a video that is making rounds. I will be a documentary. Capture how destructive this company has been in these areas. I must say forest reserve and so forth. When the minister did the press conference, I say we're revoking lands. For me, that is not enough. These people are criminals, and they should be telling to, or they should be talking to us measures are you prosecuting these individuals, because the level of distraction we can't just say you revoke licenses and then it ends there. Yes, it's good some people have been arrested, but you see there be a mekasa okwa mining site nipa no mugu amna mo mutu no omo ko baade o eye poverty na so mo yeah and omo we into sa nema no enti ukochi sa nkrofo na you are not resolving Galamsey. That is why from Rollins Pens besi na soldier for ko nwuram ye chesi amanfo basi, because uchesi omo the following day they will come. But the owners nankasa the campaigns are highly connected individuals, just like my brother said. And these are people who should be going after. For instance, Okwa ground na excavator si hwa. Which excavator abachi nipa? Do you know why? Sure. Because excavator no owner. Chances number no tracer, you know the owner and whoever company crana or rent it out. You can follow the trade to know who and who rented that particular thing. So you trace to the real owners of these things. And I think that with the excavator bed 31 and ano omakwachi omunyusu those strategy to get to the core individuals now, and we are responsible for this destructive behavior. You're mining, your lands, and say, because these people are determined. For them, it is not some kind of a vocation. It's a full-time vocation they've employed. Say, this is what they will do. And on top of that, I'm also expecting, say, government will do everything to ensure, say, JB, your mineral regime, no, there be a same way. Some re-engineering because na Ghana atimia take the full ownership of our mineral destiny, because we cannot be owning tons of resources. Then foreign companies will come and mine and they'll give us royalties. No, it doesn't make sense at this present time. You understand? Because this time, the resources we have, say you're building the necessary infrastructure and then as a foreign. Trust me, it can take care of the people here. But people are benefiting, external people making money, and not cry they go no mutua. Including not here, and the Chinese are coming. I'm happy the minister said some of the Chinese people are now going to be prosecuted because defeated the earlier Niamananam Krum said, Yachi Chinese if I deport you more, Nansabend, the Chinese in a deport, no Nagan and Idewa Jelino. Does it make sense? So I think the foreigners now. Must be prosecuted. Magana for several as deterrent to Obise Galamsey. Indeed, government is ready. Now again, Jebi, Oko in the past, announce a investigation.
Yeah.
Dr. Frimpong Watson a investigation. Adding a report to buy. These are criminal reporter. There is no expiry date in some of these things. I want government to revisit these issues. Are you sitting as for someone that's in Namkruma?
Yeah.
What Johnny?
What Johnny or Baba?
Okay.
Oh, and the crowd you can try people in absentia.
Of course.
Yes, it's a big deal.
And then
yes.
Of course.
We can try you in absentia. So I know crowd way. We need to go after these individuals. As our binary term in that era is gone. No. Professor Frimpong Watson can be a key witness to Nema happen, you know. Government needs to collaborate with him, get that particular evidence, and make sure that we follow through. And every single person in the past, involved in Galamsey, you know, we bring these people to justice. Because it cannot just happen, say, that chapter and you are close to, then we are moving forward. And then the same people are there, the MPP from Penin 4. And other people within the media are bold enough to sit on public and they are criticizing John Mahama, say he's not fighting Galamsey. When you had 8 good years, the president Akonta Mining and Nema Adimu say illegal and I said all pretty. The same person was clear, just like my brother said. Yeah. Bishop. And a president go use the platform no can say Akonta Mining nyanye bibia, but this is a company that is in the forest. Manase Koya investigation and several other reports came. The indicator say indeed the guy was in mining. Illegal mine now also in our forest reserve and every much crew our forest reserve. So I think that you see our approach and our effort in dealing with this thing must be ruthless. It doesn't matter Nipani NDC and MPP. All we know is that we want to preserve our forest and so forth. And going forward, you know, JB. Negotiate friend saying lands and as for instance the mine wine government want to take over now. Nationalize all the assets. The resources will be here let us go out there, get that particular service to come and work for us. At the end of the day, we own the resources. And again, this minor mining now you leave to individuals. No? Government must begin to form companies. Now you're training individuals, they will be in charge at the back of these individuals, and they can employ young people to go into some of these mining areas. Now so that mining will be responsible mining, not those kind of winner yehua. Yes, it will sense as for no. It doesn't make sense. So for me, I think that this effort as shall say must be renewed. And these criminals over the years of Moyusu Galamsey. And unfortunately for us, you know, Galamsey no mukayo munyo musikara. They come into the political space.
But the irony is that Akonta Mining over the years, I think the first Mahama government was Atamis government, one of them.
Okay.
The excavators cry,
yeah.
Then came another
yes.
or the judgment depths.
Yes.
Why are we reducing politics to this level where political differences do not matter irrespective of the judgment that goes in years back?
Yes, that is why the quality of men we put in leadership position. And I'm making about Galamsey, and Galamsey, I'm making it possible for a lot of idiots to win political power because of money. So such person who is not thinking about Nema Wogini, he's thinking about personal interest, the interest of his affiliate, friends, and then as a for them. But the core decisions that we need to make are our far-reaching consequences and impact in a positive on the fortunes of this country. You know, they will not take it because Akonta Mining, Nema, illegal at the time. Now you're confiscating the Nema, now you're Shena. The same company was liberated because MPP was in power and it was giving full access. Yeah. This time, not just mining areas or forest reserve.
Or Tumbi.
Yes. Forest reserve no ono afane dia otunu na otanton bi ma manfo otonma wi a yese oje 250 gram every way bi abia gold ojeje gold o any dollars waton ma in dollars awie no every month bi na oje gold 250 gram and your business now you think the president was not in the know national security will be a who's name or so I think that you see me I don't want to mention names they are irrelevant. These are key people must say your name. It doesn't matter who they are. I think that the state must be ruthless. We a state, you cannot be merciful. You cannot show weakness. We need to demonstrate to the people of this country that government is fully in charge. And in things like this, not why you'll be scared venturing into some of these arenas. We need to make Galamsey a high-risk venture for China. But if we create a weak environment, these people will be importing this Chinese. They come with highly sophisticated equipment. They poison our soil, poison our water bodies. They destroy everything. At the end of the day, they take monies and they go away. Right. You know, China, my culture, they are building gold reserve because they are shifting from the reliance on the offense a US dollar because of what is going on at the geopolitical arena. And we Poland through the whole world per country back auto gold in the year is China because the central bank is behind it. They want to build a huge gold reserve when the Western world crypto they want your friends gold. That is why they've liberated these people who are more. Don't think that they are individuals. Right. Because China is a communist state. Every company that comes here is operating at the instructions of the Chinese government. As some bar, they will get their back. And it's the reason why they forced Ghanaian government at the time, to deport individuals as Omoko jail. Because the government is behind it. We are talking about a communist state. So I think these are red lines that we need to look at as people. Now you protect young kasaya there. Now you BM na you greedy there. Trust me, we will never get anywhere.
All right, but that's it. Maminda Ivan Asina, me enche me bani ahe ECG sesem no so. But as usual, me start free Dr. Samuel Yehonomona yahe ECG. But that's na no me fast that kese fama Shedraka Mono Enterprise. Anka to se make sure say brother soye na fe ono endili bibia opibia no fa brother soye na fe ono ebe dili na bibia so tumi akoye. Now so doctor my membra will hono bi na me hwe what is happening to ECG? The doom so is getting too much.
Of course enter the kan Ghana ni bia wo ho kwan say Oma ne how a dead because it are ECG bills. And to be out of say at a point in time or GD say the light ma or come was
absolutely.
We are no more in an era or cast a doom lights a cast of a timetable, but it's a corner timetable. We the NDC government we work at the pleasure of the people of Ghana. Ghana food in a year. You tell us the energy sector no. Because of how it was managed in the last 8 years, it's facing a lot of difficulties.
I see.
Free Abayamu in 2016, now a car ECG, the whole energy sector day was about 8 billion. And I'm not say it's about 70 billion.
Is it US dollars or Ghana cedis?
Ghana cedis. Sikampa, they tofang, won't poor power plant in Munaya power. Yabai being a day, in and so there are major challenges in the energy sector. Of course, Ghana have every right. They have every obligations. So demand. They say I buy any movie. I don't think NDC I buy. But I want to say I buy NDC one. There are significant investments in the energy sector. Atuabo gas plants.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Asogli phase 2 near the buy car power and Mary water we need a lot of things. Yes, I create ESLA Energy Sector Levy Act Menoka say a generating 45 billion Ghana cedis. New year corona a car Ghana day only 8 billion. Ubieja 45 billion. A car 8 billion. What is 45 billion as another 70 billion account? I should tell you how the energy sector was managed. Almost we kept the lights on. Only be no way. They be no more free oil carry forward. Now can economy. But the major issue here about the management of the energy sector, they don't do it. And Yaba, Ghana 4 years remo. There are major difficulties. As I said, you solve it do so before 2015. We are still putting in place measures to solve it. But Doomso has been lingering around, just that people are not honest. But I want to promise them. I said the government of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Yabano. It said ye buy ye how are gonna afford to draw now? We buy a betting tax na mebuno council. Ye year for one. Yeah.
Ye buy 11. No more can wasp, ye for
yeah.
You buy a 1.5% withholding tax on unrefined gold, ye for and a host of taxes are not a Ghana for ye for and a gradual process. The energy sector difficulties have no. I can promise Ghana for say ye de chisha pa egu akwamwa in only a few weeks or a few months. Sanima will not to be tra. Indeed, we are
the previous government about WOHO energy sector. And is it legitimate? Or you are still looking into it?
Oh, of course, majority of them we are still looking into it. Now say you say Omako Kraniema Abagana Niema they will need in the next 10 years. Niema will be here in the next 10 years. So to me once so Niema no so say in the next 5 years. Until by the time I next year 10 years we do not Niema na
I said that.
Sanima will na a procurement or more year in the last 8 years a car to Ghana so.
And Niema no be here the year Jumano. Or make here Niema in the next 10 years. And Omako Koton Niema no so be expire the next 5 years. And Niema na be good Ghana.
And 20 years old plans and
say so or general the cat. And Niema no so be good or no so. Yanom so atom.
So those ones are they legitimate or there's something?
I don't they have the right to do procurement from my but say
appropriate.
What measure ben the com? What was the need assessment and also motor? We don't know. Investigations are still going on. But the point I want to make to Ghana for the say, Moana Matuaba, Anna, my GD say, NDC abai, better than an MPP regime. Yaba. It's a say yeah, no maybe a tremono in the energy sector. No, you best say Jessica to war and the Tuya Yamuka. Na energy sector na so kai say asogli ni other power plants no mutimi dum omo
yeah sure
because of a car na Ghana de omo nyaye because a car ye tu na kakra. In fact now it is better because omo will say NDC aban we are a little we are modest and na ye can ye de oseyo nti omo ogidie e woyemu and as adum so nkesenkete ya esi it has been happening in the last 8 years. Except that Ghana have a higher expectation for the government because they know say we have done it before.
So when are you going to fix it?
Very soon. Very.
How soon?
In fact, there are some places what is actually happening in load shedding. Some of them, to be very honest with me, but some of them, to be very honest with you.
And people also claiming, say even some of the MPP members are claiming, say, yes, but MPP members for the current ECG boss do not share the same ideology with what President Mahama and for that matter, you should look for somebody or no share the same ideology or equally fit enough.
Yes, I agree with Obia or expressing a view on the matter. The point is that President Mahama Obai, he's one president why an appointment very early. And gradually some of these appointments are now being done and some of the terminations are going on. The NDC and the people of Ghana should rest assured that President Mahama, he has been in this game for a very long time. When the president 4 years, up opposition 8 years, and he is by far one of the most experienced politicians and leaders you will ever get. And it's a beginning the audience said I was a President Mahama and Onyeya no so cheope. Na President Mahama will do it. Enti dum so ne electricity hu sensema abai. Me shega na fobo.
Okay.
Say the matter will be solved and will be solved amicably. Ama Ghana for nyina ni age say you da ba amoto something koto ye no anyekwa. Yesre Ghana for nyina say oyawo ne akonanda omukom because of the ekosi mo fa che.
All right.
And until amato abama ye.
Very well.
We work at your pleasure. A mumunti and I tell ya juma. Ye then she shall pay guaquemo, says our problem in I solve it.
All right. Lucius. William
Darcy. Doom so enkitia Nansan Yuhumi. Mijidi said Ghana ni bia obeka ho asem se o. Ya dum kania. Odika. Patriotic ase.
Yeah.
Because nipa de se owo aban na aban no ye aban a utie na utimi jawo ma wo ye den o kan de o pa eboa ma amamu ye den ejina anka ne aban a atwam na ye hu bi sa nsem bi o kra na ne kan no edin na of course se o hwe dun song kitinkiti a na nsan ye hu a go na no se na me wo convention asini bedum kania anumre nti ema eye
discotheque kakra
ati asenti na eha adwen however no near yehu eni untimu emfa sobonu nyina emmo ayi NDC aban patwa wati ase
e no na Ghana for people
ai minimpa minimun say afi ne aban hiaba enti se o sorry na se niema bi koso na wonhu se ekoso a emu ya na mom se ohun se aban no nso no o de niema egu akwan mu se ne be ya niema betimi ade ebetimi ayekama to say na me eka bibi about niema akoso ECG se betimi koto mfidi a benhia ahu niema bi anabeye no na ye bebotom nko anabedwen enti ekotia oman no because of say na akakra ma yato abanti no na akwa te say be so because na say bi nsema amete about say be kra niema bi ha be contract will be say onko fa niema mra nipa no niema ode beba no nyina no ne contract no end wo port ho se bebe clear no so no ye ECG for asem what you see
yeah
enso bebe timi so aja ECG betimi aja aniema no ho no ma ama dimorija ka niema no na fe de nipa na ono ko fa ade no baaye no wasen ya fa akiri no wasen akwa den wakoto no wasen abeton de ama ECG bi what you see enti yesika na be den be hwe ayi ofrensen ameri ni ye be de ko kumase one
yeah
Ekosi or minus $36 million. From IU. I'd really free take crab at Ghana none boys.
I said $4 million or something.
And Tino said, would the idea free take ever Ghana? Now say around 4 million now. I think it's 3.6 million.
Yeah, almost 4 million.
Almost 4 million.
Yeah.
Now would the I didn't know Ghana high keke. And not to cost $36 million. So you see, MPP for Adi in Samone Kessie, Ejaho. Now, and yet 1 day affair, yem timum for 1 day per enye. Now, mum say, I cancel the Yedika. What you say? And to me, GDA say, send your President Mama air committed, say, or the obey Ghana, you know. Me GDA say, free sabrewi ekuye no sa ECG insensem niema ewo ho no ma ema ase kania no entimu gina so no ebe solve what you say
yeah
enti no niema ka che Ghana fu nyina ese yenye den yenye yenya kan honhom kakra what you say
okay
say nya twa honhom kakra me gidie se kasa na dia sometimes emu ya ebi ni se na me kasa mu convention ase abedum kanye what you say anti no ebi o ha no so eye bibi a ebi akra me kan se convention dia kra obi o ha na ne dia na oye no ewo financial returns bi so to meet certain demands bi ne nasefo na yadum kania ebi a ono so any alternative generator bi anase plant bi a wo hono or rely on only ayi men kan say ECG anase ayi entino emu ya nipa no kan odi say oye oka but me gidie say yenya kan honhom kakra say ne president mama I committed no obesolve it.
But Ivan, so if you're going to say if there's something fishery also or ECG do so neighbor, what are you waiting for?
Baby, I think that for quite some time now adia bako adiga nanya pa ukruma adia for state-owned enterprises. These are enterprises they are supposed to, you know, work at the various strategic areas. Sabaya Ghana, click. So you can say it's one of the engines of the government machinery. But you see, for some time now, all these entities have become debt entities. Are more driver debt. Debt, you know, more rise as a result of inefficiencies within these institutions because they are not accountable to anybody. ECG, we don't know messy up or no politician will be in a term. Bank of Ghana, man for messy up, others are now printing money, and as for inflation could do 50 something in Obia would know. I know that the politician will take the bashing. So some of these things are render these state institutions very inefficient. And sometimes when you walk in and you look at some of the decisions they make, you'll be shocked. Foolish decisions. reckless decisions are those decisions that are far-reaching consequences on the fortunes of this country. For instance, I mean, you care about your friends say ECG can near my own here. What will be the motivation? You need the next 10 years. Expiration date be 8 years. So you know very well, say it doesn't make any sense in terms of logic to make such procurement. But because I know that they are not being held accountable, no, a politician will pick a call, Munya this order, me supplier, our China, Menena Kasa, and they will bring the things the state will pay. So these inefficiencies in all these state institutions are so compromised to the extent that ECG TBBLT. ECG, I say on NECA. This is a company, independent power producers, as so Gilwine, or magic power, or they don't sell power. When they produce the power, they give it to ECG, go and sell. Obama catches a technical and commercial losses here 42%. Now more than JB. Company bank and now be a produce power man second was a technical and commercial losses here 42%. That no company can be viable, and that become a norm. Oh, it's okay. Now you're at home. Nobody is being fired. Abrante and not Obetra TV3 former MD justifying this reckless spending and as far. Yes. Under his watch, a lot of these things went on. And for me, I resign, and I'm a some sense of decency, at least what draw back. Now I hire a bit to way, but he was defending some of those nauseating stuff. So you see, for me, the doomsday situation, you know, are quite obvious. But then you see, you can't governance. You can't go bobi so baby. I just say Birmia Akwenya ko kind back and son of Mobi. Governance, my culture say, is an act. It's flexible, and sometimes you know you can contextualize it. Just to fit one kasa or terrain because obia circumstance are different. Says here, the books have been opened. Every reasonable mind behind the catch the MPP aban bogu ho man for who say power sector no there is a crisis. Who doesn't know? Unless you are not ready to accept the reality. That is the reality yet home. But you see, Doomsona shall say eba.
Which is worrying. And tell them, everybody is entitled to express that particular thing. So what you need to do is constant engagement with the people. Tell them what is happening. Yeah. Because Ghanaians understand the problem, but what they will not agree with you is all of a sudden lights in eba. You that anybody been told anybody anything? As it stands now, I don't know, dear, but there is no reason or justification to why I won't do so.
No, there is a reason, but nobody is telling you. That's the reason why. So that Dr. Triana Kanya. And I make say in the past, you know, some of these mistakes echo. So yeah. Abra Jamahama about 2016, you know. Do you know say of free power? Years after, and some man for who say or see your friend is a Legon hospital. Years after, before a man for who say Nema or So I think communication is key. There is a problem on daily basis. You know, update people doing such situation. They say that people agree with you because government is are buying the magic. And that's sorry, and Nema or and Nema no. People know so there is a problem, but the energy ministry must consistently be engaging people, update people, let people know. Hey, Hannah, this is the situation, and the lights never cut off. Mom will be tema, and that one prepare. This is what is going to happen when you inform. You see, lights in a call for one, and the lights in a call for the yaman for a hero. And yet, the fact that you don't know, you don't know when it is coming. Yeah, I think that where our governance are getting to know, we need to move beyond this. In other jurisdictions like America and as for them, some of the company lights in a call off and they send a text message as telling you why and when it will come. With maybe you're not much advanced to get there, but radio announcement that kind of way, let people know, let them understand. Then my culture is a governance, it's a public enterprise. So, and you be in the department and Sabia Sorana 12 o'clock, I baby, or Mokoyano Maba. No. A public enterprise, you need to inform people, let people know. That is why I call White House Donald Trump. Every day he's behind the cameras, communicating his own policies in his own voice for people to know what he's doing on daily basis. I think the president should be doing weekly that kind of way, and then White House, the press secretary, every blessed day, so answering question from your friend is saying the media, because you don't leave doubt. Governance is such that you don't create a vacuum. But the very moment you create a vacuum, people will fill it, and whatever they fill it with, you don't have any control. Because people will fill it with propaganda, misinformation, whatever. You can't control. So for me, you don't create room. But Sankayabana Yama reason, this is why there is doom so.
Yeah.
And the very people they are the same people on social media. And then they are tagging John Mahama to doom so. But they are the very people who caused the problem. So why don't you tell people, explain people, say these are the challenges. We are doing our best. Here we are, and let's say. So people are in the know. But what's so? Now you hold information to your chest. You don't speak to anybody. Sometimes people want information and suddenly Obia who said, "Say WhatsApp now, or send a message. I take a blue no." And now people know how to disable that particular. You are sending the message and take a crowd of our kind. You see, I don't know why we don't learn as people. Power no JB. However long you stay, it will expire. Rollins to me, Obenya, no, be no Benya be 21 years in power in military uniform. He wielded absolute power, and no Rollins or ever.
Because from the old canon, as it starts now, me try me bills away. Ebia me can any duma.
Yes.
Me should prepaid.
Yes.
I'm expecting some men enjoy power.
Yes.
E can be wo no mo a, anase bibi atochima wo no mo a. Stakeholders.
Yes.
Leading stakeholders.
Yes.
We should be of the known. Say this is the reason why this and this and that is happening.
You need to understand, sir, there can never be a situation power sector in your problem. There is a problem.
Absolutely.
But communicate. Tell people every day, engage them. Let them know why this is happening. Why and that 2 o'clock or light back off because of this situation. Tell people I'm not against light now air off, no, but I'm against the lack in terms of flow of information. Updating people, let them know, explain, because already know book now by OPS, who say we had just about 48-hour power emergency way. The President Mahama made commitment to say he will do everything at the early stages we're going with. So at this point in time, the ministry need to take over, engage people, public update, give them anyasa. You are giving arsenals to your enemies. And the MPP is out of power. There are people on social media calling John Mahama Doomso John Mahama when they know they created a problem. Elections, that time you free crew net so a current abwabo no see hono. And again, ECG issue nearby a man for tongue cables and as for no. We need to revisit that particular issue because the crisis we are in today is as a result of this criminal negligence and the complicity of some people in the past administration. Why are they working free? This ECG cable matter must be revisited full glare, and every single individual won't be
Is the NDC and for that matter John Mahama ready to visit that issue?
No. At this time, it's not just about NDC. It is about John Mahama. Governance level, and the caliber of young people who are coming, and how Ghanaians have become so much receptive and interested in issues of politics. You have no choice. People will determine what to do. One year you are digging your own grave, and the president, as a very experienced politician, he understands these things. You understand? So punishing crime is something you can never forgo at this time because young people are out there asking questions because there were criminal activities all over. You and I were here. We are all sitting on this platform. Boom, the corruption. Now corruption now prosecuted. So I think that the president understands this. Let us take this fight. You see, my catch is and weakness has no space in politics.
Yeah,
you need to be strong. You need to be very frontal. You don't care about what people will say. So far as you know what you're doing is right. That is what you need to do because Nipana committee crime. We can't live in a country where somebody will just wake up a day because signals brew wine. Now I walk into estate. A Diana kind 27 man will check album now more dama. JB Sikan Babi Onyano no on declare you be and these things as you see and a man for best sorry say or a party in press conference I could defend them. I'm telling you press conference and the soldier for such nonsense must not be tolerated because we are talking about issues of criminality. Oko other jurors now I'm back catch as a South Korea president and say omotuno onte ya ombeto aba. You know what he did? He declared a martial law. I'm a soldier for parliament. That action was deemed unconstitutional by parliament. I'm passive vote of no confidence. Supreme Court unanimous decision. South Korea preparation to go into election. The whole president though. How much more? Yes, some obviously infinitesimal will be on an ECG. We need to be very aggressive in our approach. Now you're making sure this time round, young people available, they've taken vested interest in politics. They are monitoring, they see how things are going.
Right.
And they want to take some key decision. Because don't forget, Akufo Addo Bano. Not a mad handkerchief, a for money. Okwaboso Kanya. Not a moji tax at the man. Or Bacono, not a man on Babono. But it's the same person, nothing has changed because of our Brababoni on the power of the boy. You understand?
Yeah.
So when you win a political power, it's an opportunity. So, those who pursue wealth, they are narrow-minded, twisted individuals, and they don't even understand governance. Come I catch up, come and Kroma back, Romano. No, you're Rachel. But the name in Kroma left because of the legacy he built. His name will live forever. Who remember Obiawasi 26 buildings that were easily gone? Now, Hanafa. Because at the end of the day, you may be the richest person in Ghana, you can't feed everybody. The poorest person in Ghana, ODD. He's the poorest. He will eat tomorrow. So when you get power, make positive impact, and that is the most important thing.
Very well. Doctor, so as a more like a communication, the flow of communication, especially with the Doomso thing. So is there any avenue, is there any reason why? Because it's a Ghana for whom they enjoy value for money.
Oh, you know, some of these things, it is in the bosom of ECG.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. I think, say, hereby, I had several press conferences. The energy minister, Krawa, addressing the public about the state of the energy sector. Say there's even a plan to build another gas plant.
Okay.
What have you had? So, the communication is ongoing. Of course, Ghana are asking for more. There's no difficulty. Like I said earlier, we work at the pleasure of Ghanaians. If at any point in time, I'm going to say your communication, might yet said your mopena, we'll ramp it up and do what we need to do to make sure say the issues, about many. So that is the point. But the point must be made. Say where we are now, no credit or hand.
Is there anything that can be you will be able to be a dear Fahuana? Said the baby away in ya.
Of course, I don't think Ghana for to Obama. Yeah, to Obama, and I have very significant changes in the energy sector. Ghana for to Obama. We are still putting in place measures a day stable electricity, stable power. Hereby independent power producers. Yet you have a breaker. You allocate this car for fuel and then okay, I say buy enough fuel power plant. You buy Yayina Ama and Bibia Akoso Boko. The point is that governance is a process. The difficulties now in Ghana for her so the two Abamae. It is those difficulties now best solve. But the point must be made. So where we are no, to be very honest, and yet every sphere of our national life, our social life, a car ababedi edim. What they make us say. Enti niema kitigiti I say the system no etimi nyane ekọ enimi na no has become a difficulty.
All right.
We want to promise the people of Ghana said nchoma to abamaye. Ye den hyehyɛ pa begu akwemu na yaye. Complaints the brain no and also yen on the part of government. Yes, side no. We don't want to complain. So
I say it too early. I say it too early.
I say we don't want
the complaints are becoming too early. As at the end,
we don't want to engage in that. I know that Ghana for our my intimate be some question. Okay, indeed, by 120 day social contract. The last time I came out of 20 final presidents were 19 Thursday on launch the free sanitary pad project.
I see. Coming Thursday.
Yes, I allocated about 300 million to that. By levy, betting tax. You can say free senior high school. Decentralized feeding. You allocated 3.5 billion Ghana cedis. Mahama Care projects. You launch 1 million codes program. You launch a Jumara program. You launch national apprenticeship program. Technical committee. You launch. So many of these programs are present. Mama can't so in the first 120 days. Why they? Why energy sector difficulty. It be about the people of Ghana or more comfort, any or many GA, any or more right as Ghanaians. Our taxes. I was almost a canon. The government of John Dramani Mahama ready to assuage the plight of the people. In the energy sector, I be difficult, She be me Shagana Fobo. in a matter of 2-3 months, there will be pastors. What's the name?
All right.
Some of my Ghana phone.
All right. Lucius.
Yeah.
Now, my phone wrap you up on this issue. Yeah.
The Rebecca said, the Ivan Kayano say, I said there's lack of communication. I feel say, Odika. So, say, now Dr. Eka say, ministry, no, aye, press conference, and that is at the ministry level.
Yeah.
And so at the sector level, no, me feel say, say ECG ankasa on daily basis. Say their light be go off, and I say ebe gina so ana brea e de be ko off no. Say beti magana for wedding.
Yeah.
Ehu.
Yeah.
What you say?
Yes.
Because a light in e be ko off on hwe timer adno so be ba no unim. Say unim timer o light de be ko off e bia me gidi say niam bi wo ho man ka be den obeye ansana akọ off. What you say? Me bia say light no so kra akọ off unim timer light de be ba enti no ye wo bibi wo ho na say o pese o ya o de kwa akọhye that period be say light wo to ho no na light go off wo ho no na aba and then the mean feel say ECG for ne Ghana for ending year. So once at the ministry no ye na fam there me so me egi ECG say ben so no be ma information nye den enflow because at least obia ne oyisu kania bia no otua ho ka enti no ohia service no once ani pana tua no kwade na chese wa ready say obeden obese evu nche okotua ene kura no thank God say yenyusu ayi no bim anka no wo ho boso postpaid enti no prepaid enti once ani pana kwa koto ayi power no nko ade e de abehiem na chese watuaka owo botaye nti okoeden okotoye enti no ese oso utimi S7 no wo hwe na se service no there is a challenger e bia wuntim meet niema bia you let the person know ahu and so dia kwa no internet adaroma even Facebook kura na say other social media handles no say who page kura de to one ma me gidi say amam for be share enti no se pa say light be ko off and say information o manipa ente de uni any justification to that effect say untimu nchege enti ana say untimu nka kwan kra obetimi reach out to the people. We have several avenues obetimi they are reaching out to the general public.
Ivan,
yeah,
with the mama just 1 minute.
Okay, but some I can feed into the inefficiencies.
Yes.
You see, as some way by ECG, you want to be given that update.
Yeah.
But is now the ministry, then through government. But because Obiam Fajan to a much, they feel so normal,
very comfortable.
Kind of attitude. So I think that is why we need to be very frontal and instill some sense of discipline into some of these state-owned enterprises. And some of the decisions I have reckless or take it with you because that internal culture, no. Give prominence to that kind of inefficiency. No, we need to, you see, resetting not just state institution in the here and some of these agencies in they take the fact salary at the time. Bank of Ghana air running loss, our loss near unprecedented in our history. No, now you're to gold watch and as for the map, your friends board members.
Board members, yeah.
Yes, they were paying themselves allowances 500,000, 5 billion per each individual. At the time, the company air Boca in our history, they were printing money.
We will a handshake. Governor Bekwai so shaking hands with all the staff members into be at 20,000. Hey, so
and just imagine, not 10 years or not, your friend saying district baby all your operation. Obi blood, Agasia Guneni, Nanipano HIV, now I am infected forever no, or then the family in the FACO.
Yeah.
The risk these people are going through, people rendering essential services, Obiti baby because of way and you see, sometimes anything of mining you know, because you see, on mining bay, Yebi. And yet those up there is the efficiency on the ground. People workforce no more honor. How are we energizing them? Almost very motivated and they work.
Very well. Very well. Mami now I say Ivan Chi, innocent, youth activist, youth activist. Mami Kanisa, me that say for your time this morning. And me Lucius. So this is what NDC communication team member now.
Me part of the national communication team.
Oh, okay. Now I'm casting a PPP.
PPP say agu.
Don't mind me. And of course, Dr. Samia is a member of the communication team. Ewo Abaikesimu. Doctor, that's it for your time this morning.